The day I got the call with Lil Melvin, and again, y'all, it's no free to everybody. He's Lil Melvin to me forever. But wait, when I got the call, I was just going to call him to tell him, okay, I'm ready to go get my hair done because I knew he was coming back to him. All the way there, I prayed. I'm like, he gonna be okay. He gonna be okay. He gonna be okay. They finally come tell me he didn't make it.
This is an arrest, years in the making. Rapper Marquise Conway, known as Yella Beezy, charged with capital murder in connection to the shooting death of Melvin Noble, a rival artist who went by Mo3.
After 5 years of silence, Mo3's mother is finally speaking out, and what she's about to reveal could change everything. She's ready to break her silence and expose shocking new details about her son's murder. And all signs are pointing straight at Yella Beezy. He may have thought he got away with it, but now, with a capital murder charge hanging over his head, his freedom is slipping away fast. According to Mo3's mom, this wasn't just street beef, this was personal. She claims it all stemmed from a messy fallout involving betrayal, business deals gone wrong, and dangerous egos. For years, the streets whispered, but now the truth might finally be coming to light. In a shocking twist just days ago, Dallas rapper Yella Beezy was arrested in connection to Mo3's 2020 murder. This time, it's not just rumors. Authorities say they have new evidence directly tying Yella to a murder-for-hire plot. According to reports, he allegedly put money on Mo3's head, orchestrating the hit from behind the scenes. The plan? Get the job done, and the money would be taken care of. Yella Beezy is now facing a capital murder charge, with bail set at $2 million, clear sign that law enforcement is taking this case very seriously. Fans were stunned by the news. After so much time, many assumed Mo3's murder would remain an unsolved tragedy. But now, it looks like justice might finally be on the horizon.
This is an arrest, years in the making. Rapper Marquise Conway, known as Yella Beezy, charged with capital murder in connection to the shooting death of Melvin Noble.
Yella Beezy might be out of jail for now, but don't get it twisted. This case is far from over. After spending a week behind bars, he was granted a bond reduction hearing and released on a $750,000 bond, a major drop from the original $2 million. But just because he's walking free at the moment doesn't mean he's off the hook. Authorities are still digging, and if Yella is convicted, he could be facing 30 years to life in prison. This is as serious as it gets. Meanwhile, Mo3's mother, Mama Noble, is standing strong. From day one, she's been fighting for answers, and after Yella's arrest, she didn't mince words. She took to Facebook with a short but powerful message. Justice for my baby. She's not letting this go. She wants closure, she wants accountability, and above all, she wants her son to finally rest in peace. So how did we get here? Why would Yella Beezy allegedly put a hit on someone he once called a friend? That's where things get really dark. Mo3 and Yella weren't always enemies. In fact, they came up together in the Dallas rap scene. They were friends brothers in the grind. But as their fame grew, so did the tension. The competition got fierce. They were fighting for the same spotlight, the same fan base, and eventually, that friendly rivalry turned hostile. Then came 2020, the year everything changed. On November 11th, Mo3 was driving down I-35 in Dallas when tragedy struck in broad daylight. A car swerved in front of him, forcing him to a stop. Before he could react, a masked gunman jumped out and opened fire. Mo3 tried to flee on foot, running for his life, but the shooter chased him down and shot him multiple times in the back. An innocent driver was also hit during the chaos. Then the killer ran back to his car and sped off. It was a cold-blooded execution, and just like that, one of Dallas's most promising young artists was gone. For years, rumors swirled. Was it just another case of street violence, or something deeper? Something personal? Now, with Yella Beezy's arrest, the pieces are finally starting to come together. and it looks like the truth is uglier and more tragic than anyone expected. MO3 and the innocent bystander were both rushed to the hospital after the shooting. While the bystander survived, tragically, MO3 didn't make it. The loss shook the Dallas music scene to its core. Then, just a month later, the investigation took a major turn. A man named Kewan Dantrell White was arrested, not initially for MO3's murder, but on unrelated gun charges. But as investigators dug deeper, they discovered he was actually the alleged hitman who pulled the trigger that day on I-35. White was later sentenced to 9 years on the gun charges and remains behind bars, still awaiting trial for MO3's murder. But he wasn't alone. Another man, Devin Maurice Brown Jr., was also arrested in connection with the setup, allegedly playing a key role in orchestrating the hit. That's when the streets really started talking. From the moment White was arrested, rumors began to swirl that Yella Beezy wasn't just an innocent bystander. Whispers grew louder that he might have been the mastermind behind the entire plot. And now, years later, with Yella's recent arrest, it's looking more and more like those rumors might have held some truth all along. After MO3's death, Yella Beezy didn't exactly act like someone mourning a friend or trying to distance himself from drama. He stayed active, dropped music, did shows, lived like his name would never be tied to the tragedy. It was almost as if he truly believed he was untouchable. When people began connecting the dots and pointing fingers, Yella shut it down quick. In an interview which has since mysteriously disappeared, he was asked directly about the allegations. He brushed them off, refusing to entertain what he called nonsense. His exact words: "Certain saint needs to be addressed, certain saint don't. Stop attaching me to all that C, because it ain't got nothing to do with me." But denial wasn't the end of it. When photos surfaced of Yella and Kewan White, the man, accused of killing MO3 Yella, played it off like it was nothing but a coincidence. No explanation, no concern, just more deflection. And if that wasn't suspicious enough, at the beginning of the following year, Yella made a bold post online claiming he was putting all his haters in the dirt. Given what had just happened to MO3, that message hit different, and not in a good way.
Hey man, new year, new blessing. You understand me? You made it a hell of a year. You understand? Anybody that ain't for you, anybody that's going against you, anybody that's got that negative, you understand me, ain't bringing no positive vibe. You know, in the words of Gucci, put that ass in the dirt, nigga. Damn! Yo, you did. Let's go.
At this point, people were seriously side-eyeing Yella Beezy. He was walking around like nothing could touch him, moving like he was above it all, but clearly, the police weren't buying the act. Now, with his arrest and new evidence coming to light, all those rumors people brushed off might not have been so far-fetched after all. So the question is, was Yella really that confident? Or did he just think he was untouchable? In the weeks after MO3's murder, Yella seemed convinced he was in the clear. No signs of worry, no laying low. But the universe had other plans. Just a few months later, he slipped up big time. An undercover cop caught him with 5 illegal firearms. Somehow, he managed to dodge serious consequences that time. But now, it's a whole different story. With a capital murder charge hanging over his head, things are looking real grim. And let's be honest, this wasn't just a personal beef between Yella Beezy and MO3. This tension spilled out into the entire Dallas rap scene. People were forced to pick sides, and unfortunately, some of them got caught in the crossfire literally. One of those people was Roy Lee, a well-known Dallas comedian famous for roasting local rappers. Roy didn't hold back when it came to speaking on the drama. He openly talked about the Yella and MO3 beef, even claiming it wasn't just between them. He said the whole Dallas rap scene had turned on MO3. And judging by how things unfolded, it seems like he might have been telling the truth. But was Roy Lee simply exposing what everyone was already thinking? Or did he cross a dangerous line? Roy's jokes didn't land the way he expected. While he passed them off as comedy, not everyone was laughing, especially not Yella. Roy, who was close to MO3, didn't hesitate to throw shade at Yella whenever he got the chance. In one interview, he even called out Yella's claim of being from Oakland, California, saying it was completely false. That struck a nerve. Things escalated fast. The tension between the two boiled over, and they ended up in a physical altercation at a club. After that, things took a turn for the worse. After the club altercation, Roy Lee didn't stay quiet and took to social media, calling out Yella Beezy and his crew for jumping him. Roy made it clear all he wanted was a one-on-one with Yella, not a group ambush. But things took a much darker turn. In September 2018, Roy Lee was shot in the leg. At first, it seemed like he would recover, but tragically, he passed away due to undetected blood clots caused by the injury. The timing of his death raised eyebrows across Dallas. MO3 took it hard. He lost not just a friend, but someone who had been publicly riding for him. No one came out and directly blamed Yella, but the streets were whispering. The circumstances felt way too suspicious. Was it just bad luck? Or was there more to the story? Then, as if things couldn't get any wilder, Yella Beezy almost lost his own life not long after Roy Lee's death. While driving one day, a car pulled up beside him and sprayed his vehicle with bullets. Over 12 shots fired. Miraculously, Yella survived, but not without suffering serious injuries. And just like that, the streets lit up again. To many, it looked like clear retaliation for Roy Lee's death. But this wasn't the end, it was just gasoline on the fire. The tension between Yella Beezy and MO3 only got worse. Fast forward a bit, and both rappers were booked to perform at the Ace Unruly Citizens Festival.
After we did the interview with you, I interviewed Mo3.
Who?
Mo3.
I don't know who that is.
Well, I asked about the shooting, and he said there's no beef, but, he said you just gotta stay out the way, it's real out here.
As expected, the incident only intensified the beef between MO3 and Yella Beezy. When MO3 was asked to comment on Yella's shooting, he kept it vague and low-key. He claimed he didn't have any beef with anyone and brushed off the situation by saying Yella getting shot was just real-life stuff. It was a cold, calculated response, one that didn't confirm anything, but also didn't...
Let me give you the It's the word. Somebody right now, we talking right now. Somebody right there probably getting shot up right now. You gotta stay out the way.
By this point, it wasn't just back and forth shots, it was full-on war. MO3 went all in and dropped a fiery diss track titled Let Me Find Out, directly calling out Yella Beezy by name. It was clear the beef had hit a dangerous new level, and the streets knew it was only going to get uglier from here. Sure enough, chaos followed. Not long after the diss track dropped, MO3's manager, Brandy Rainwater, was brutally attacked outside a Dallas strip club. According to witnesses and street rumors, Yella and his crew were behind the ambush, chasing Brandy down and leaving, him with a dislocated hip. The injuries were so severe that Brandy filed a $1 million lawsuit against Yella Beezy. But before the feud could spiral even further out of control, tragedy struck. In broad daylight on a busy Dallas highway in 2020, MO3 was gunned down and killed, a chilling end to a beef that had been simmering for years. At the time, there was no direct evidence tying Yella to the murder, but fast forward 5 years, and the case has taken a dramatic turn. With Yella Beezy now facing capital murder charges, justice might finally be on the horizon. And here's where the twist comes in. According to MO3's mother, Mama Noble, the motive behind it all may have been rooted in business betrayal. She claims Yella had once approached MO3 with a business proposal, hoping to collaborate. But when MO3 turned him down, Yella allegedly took it as a personal insult. Mama Noble says his ego couldn't handle the rejection, and that's when he decided to settle it in the streets. So, was MO3 really killed over a bruised ego and a failed business deal? If these allegations are true, this wasn't just personal, it was premeditated and cold-blooded. Now, with Yella's freedom hanging in the balance, one big question remains.